Hey guys, welcome back to Open It and Play. This is Mike, and today we're going to be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Bat. I was always a big fan of bats when I was a kid, and the G.I. Joe kind. But the G.I. Joe bat figure was one that always eluded me, and I never had one until I was an adult. And then I finally got some of like the newer version, like post 2000, I think, was when they remade a bunch of bats. But I got some weird versions, and I got some that looked more like classic, and then I got even some fake knockoff versions. But for this guy, this is the second release of the bat. The original G.I. Joe Classified Bat is also a really good figure, but this one for me is like really where it's at, because they do have more paint details. They have more detail overall. They have the clear chest plate, similar to the old design, and they even have some effects included for the weapons. And they kind of changed some of the alternate arms to make them have like colors that are affected by the effect pieces. Basically, it's like some carbon scoring. Is that the right word? But anyways, let's look at this guy. We'll get him out of the package now. He is still the regular price, I think, from when he came out. So he's not particularly expensive on the market now. But yeah, he's a really good figure overall. So I am very pleased with this guy. Tempted to buy more, but I don't need to spend the money. Okay, we have our usual base that the figure comes with. So that is the Cobra base this time. And for the bat, he comes in this very narrow practical packaging. You can see the clear chest pieces up here, one of which is cracked. And he does come with pretty good accessories. We'll get those accessories out first. It's going to be a little bit hard to do. Try to do it as fast as possible. Some of them may be taped in, but so far so good. Oh, my skateboard in the background is really moving around. Okay, this one's kind of snaked through here, so it's going to be harder to get out. And his backpack and his head. Okay, we'll look at these accessories one by one, so we see what we got in the package. So you have this excellent broken head where you can see the android body inside and the eye. I think they did a really good job to make it look like kind of like a targeting reticule type camera. And we have his backpack, which I think looks pretty close to the old original bats. Like I said, I didn't grow up with them. I wanted them, but I didn't have them until I'm an adult, so I'm not really an expert, but I think this is pretty faithfully done. Then we have the clear chest piece, so you can see the kind of inner workings of the bat. Makes him look a little more robotic. We've got the damaged chest piece, so he's got some battle damage, some cracks, a few little holes. That's a nice touch. We have the alternate hand, which is like a gripping claw. You can see it has a lot of silver paint on it. It's got a little bit of a black wash also. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if I can get in close. Maybe you can see the black wash there in the cracks. So it's very nice for the level of detail. He does come with this very plain plastic pistol. This thing is detailed, but it is just solid gray plastic. But looks nice. You can add an effect. Okay, and the other alternate arm, we've got this one. It's kind of a barbecue flamethrower. I believe it sits this way if I remember right. Okay, and we also have the laser arm, which has a really nice finish on it to make it look like the metal's nice and hot. Okay, and then we do have this blue, I suppose it's a laser, and a very small little squirt of flame for the flamethrower. So you've got nice little effects that go with him. Okay, and if we get him out of the package, you can see his little gears inside there. So I wasn't aware that this guy was going to have quite this much detail, so it was a really nice surprise when I got the figure. I mainly got him to have kind of the traditional bat look, but when I saw the level of detail, I was so impressed. If I get in close here on the arm, I don't know if the camera will pick this up exactly, but you actually have different colors. See if I can find a good example. You actually have like slightly different shades of silver. Like these are a lighter color than the surrounding part. It's kind of hard to make out, especially on camera, but this part has more of a duller finish, and this is a lighter, brighter finish. So I don't know if they did that just by putting a wash on one part, or if it's just the way that the material comes out, but you can also see the color of the plastic here is different than this. This one I think is just plastic. It does have a bit of the black wash on it, but I think that's just gray plastic. But yeah, the part here is the most obvious. Maybe you can see this color is different than this, distinct. So, but anyways, he's got grenades too, but these grenades are more cheaply done. They're just gray plastic. But for this, sorry, my camera is overheating. I got a new camera, but it's also going to be a really old one. But this is still the old one currently. But okay, and you can see the color scheme. The yellow is more like the classic bat, and I believe this red kind of face shield helmet is the classic bat's color. I've seen different versions, so it's easy to confuse them, but I remember I bought a bunch of bats just for the heads, and those were knockoffs, and then I put them onto my like more high quality bats. But anyways, I'm afraid my phone's going to start smoking, so anyways, here we go. Let's take a look through his articulation. So it is our G.I. Joe classified setup. So we have the neck is on a joint. Sorry, let's get this in focus. The neck is on a joint itself, and then the head is on a ball peg too. So you do have the chance to get a lot of attitude. Looking up is kind of limited, but I think it's pretty realistic. Looking down is satisfactory. Okay. His arms do have butterfly joints, and unlike many of the G.I. Joe classified, these are a little more functional. Maybe because he's robotic, they took the liberty of making this go back further. But yeah, it seems to be a lot more functional than the typical one. So his shoulders will go up, just a moment. His shoulders will go up to here. Okay. Of course, they'll go all the way around. He does have a bicep cut. I think it's pretty neatly hidden. He's got this really cool double jointed elbow that keeps the robotic look no matter how you put it. It does get mighty thin, but it does indeed look very robotic, so I like it overall. Okay, and then his wrists do have a horizontal hinge. That might be disappointing, but this one will be the vertical hinge one. Oh my god, I'm wrong. It's also a horizontal. So the bat is, unlike most of the G.I. Joe classified figures, he actually has two horizontal wrists. But okay, and then as I told you before, you can pop this off, and we can pop in his alternate stuff, like for example this claw. Then this doesn't have any movement on its own, but it does rotate around for a little bit of better flexibility. Okay, well, that's kind of an iconic look for the bats, so let's add his other iconic look. We'll put this in here. Okay, so that's sort of what he's going to look like when he's in new condition. So I like it. Okay, onto the torso. He's got a ball joint at the waist as usual, and he has an ab crunch. He'll go back that far. He'll go forward that far. So it's pretty satisfactory range of movement. Of course, he can go to the side, but he is very stiff. I think I'm going to heat this guy up before I try to push it much because he does feel very stiff out of the package. Okay, he does have drop down hips, so he can kick up real high if you want. Okay, and he's got a twist at the thigh cut, but this you will have to watch out. The more you the more you twist it, the more you have to readjust. So, okay, and then he has double jointed pinless knees that will get you back plenty far, I think, for a robot. You may get a little bit better range on this other one because of the, but his proportions are kind of bad. He's a robot, so it's okay, but yeah, you get better range slightly on this one because it doesn't run into the plastic part here. But okay, and then he does have a boot cut that moves nice. It's pretty smooth, but it's not too loose. And then he has ankles that will hinge back that far. Forward is less satisfactory. It's kind of running into this lip, so you push it, you probably damage it, and then ankle pivot. So overall, I think this is a really nice B.A.T figure and a very satisfying figure to own if you're a long-time G.I. Joe person, a long-time G.I. Joe fan. I'm going to try to get a measurement on this guy, and then we'll get going. He is standing at, bring this in. He is standing at 6 5/8 of an inch, I think. It's hard to tell. You guys can read it better than me. 6 5/8, I think. Yeah. Okay, that'll be just shy of 17 centimeters, maybe 16.8 centimeters. So, but anyways, it's a very satisfying very satisfying factory. It's a very satisfying figure to own. I would love to army build these guys, but I'm going to kind of mix and match some of the newer pieces with my 2 old B.A.Ts. So in total, I have 4 B.A.Ts. But I gotta take it easy on the B.A.Ts because I'm still gonna have some Skeletrons for the Red Shadows. So we gotta divide the budget. Okay, thank you guys for joining me on this one, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care and F ice. Bye for now.